Hey guys, it's Decode 2020 Day 1, brought to you by Stairhouse, Teens Church from Harvesters International Christian Center. So Decode today will be online, yes, because social gathering, we can't have everybody together. So I'll be your host for today. My name is Oluwafunola Adesonya. So please bring out your books, bring out your Bibles. Let's avoid all forms of distractions because it promises to be amazing. So please follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we'll be having a testimony from our members that attended Decode last year, and you'll be sharing with us how Decode has affected his life positively. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Princess Prosper. I do Ankara crafts, I do bangles, I do earrings, I do researches, I do shoes, I do bags. I'm a member of Stairhouse. I learned how to do Ankara jewelries in Decode 2019. I was in bead making group. My teacher, Mrs. Manway, she taught us how to make Ankara earrings, Ankara bangles, Ankara books. Yes, Ankara books. My mom is my first customer. She came to me saying that she had a competition of Ankara to do in her office, and she told me to make some things for her. So I decided the material she wanted to use, I could use it to do shoe for her, I could use it to do bag, I could use it to do earrings and bangles. And then I did it for her. Then she knocked me because she's my mom, but she still won. First, it was difficult getting customers, but with the help of my parents, I could get at least 5 orders a day. And another thing, coupled with my academics and also attending to the others, it was really difficult. So I decided I'll only take orders on weekends and then focus on my academics. I'm planning on opening my own boutique and pushing my business forward. I advise my fellow teens to put their mind to what they can do. And please don't forget to put God first. No, you do.
Juan! Where's this girl? I'm not the one calling you. Eh? Since that time, what are you doing?
Please, never.
Hey!
I'm going to repeat it again. Never barge into my room until I tell you to come in.
When did we start talking like this? When did this one happen?
I'm telling you, my
Because you bring those your friends here, you think you can talk to me like that? Your elder brother. Eh?
You're not
Hey.
my elder brother.
What I will do to you?
You are not. Because my daddy have mistakenly married your mom.
What do you say?
Doesn't make you my elder
No,
brother.
say it again.
Because
How you want to say it?
Ah.
Eh? Joanne. See, no, it's because I easily get angry and Joanne
Get your hands on my lap.
for a girl like you should not cry now.
Get your hands on my lap.
No. It's me.
Get your hands on my lap.
Do this thing.
I'll hit you again if you touch me. Stop this. Stop this. Help! Help! Just go.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you have learned from that. I told you, we have amazing things in stock for you. We have an amazing message for you. So sit back, calm down. We'll be right back.
Hi teens, my name is Oyola Bode, and today I'll be exhorting us on the topic time and chance. Now, what is time? Time can be defined as treasure. That's my own definition of time. Time is simply treasure. However, Wikipedia defines time as the indefinite continued progression of events and existence from the past to the present to the future. Now, what does the Bible say about time? The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 that to every season, there is a time, and to every purpose, there is a season under heaven. Now, in Ecclesiastes 9 verse 11, the Bible says that the race is not to the swift, the battle is not to the strong, bread is not to the wise, riches is not to men of skill, favor is not to men of understanding. But guess what? Time and chance happens to them all. Note, time and chance happens to them all. So let's zoom in on time and chance. Now, what is chance exactly? Chance can be defined as the probability or possibility of something happening or not happening. For example, the possibility of getting into Harvard, the possibility of becoming a superstar, the possibility of becoming famous. Now, that is chance. Now, zooming in on time and chance definitely means opportunity. Now, the fusion of time and chance together means opportunity. So think time, think chance, and think opportunity. Now, what are the features of time? Number one, time is not static, which means time is not something you can freeze, like in those sci-fi movies where you can freeze time and hop in and out of a time machine to be able to correct your mistakes. No, time is now. What you have to do now, you do now, because time waits for nobody. Number two, time is valuable. That means, just like money, you cannot just fritter away time. You need to invest in time. You need to make yourself a better person. You need to invest in making yourself better, learning an art, learning a skill. Just become that better person. Number three, time is currency. Time is a currency like money. So you need to spend time. You either spend time making yourself a better person, or you fritter time away and waste time. But then time invested, time spent wisely would always yield in the future for you in form of returns. So, having said all this, how can you make the best use of your time? Number one, be sensitive to every opportunity that comes your way. Don't just idle away doing nothing. Make sure that you're investing in your time, like I said earlier, becoming a better person. Even at this time when there is no school, you can learn a skill, learn an art, just become better, something that gives you an edge over your peers. Number two, how can you spend your time better? You spend your time better by not procrastinating. Say no to procrastination. Why? Because procrastination is the thief of time. To a procrastinator, time would never wait, because time waits for nobody. And to a procrastinator, tomorrow will never come, because a procrastinator will always say, I'll do this tomorrow, I'll do this tomorrow, I'll do this tomorrow, and time and again, tomorrow will never come. Now, tomorrow is like a mirage. You know what a mirage is? A mirage is a film, like a film of vapor on a surface, and as you approach it, it fizzles out, it disappears. That's what happens to every procrastinator. They never achieve their goals, they never achieve their aim, they never amount to anything they want to amount to. Having said all of this, you also need to invest in time by putting your effort into everything that you do, putting your best foot forward and reaching for the stars. Dream big. That's my third point. Dream big, think big. You're never too young to reach for the stars. You're never too young to imagine that you can become anything, and use what you have now. What you have now, it's time to get what you want in the future. Thank you.
Wow, what an amazing video. I hope you have learned from it. Right about now, we'll be having our skill acquisition. So please bring out your books, bring out your bios. Let's have all forms of distractions gone away from us. We don't need them, because you don't know when we need all these skills. They come in handy sometimes. So please sit back, relax, and right before our skill acquisition, we'll be having an amazing interview. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Adelo Lawal, the MD of Untitled Catering, popularly known as Chef Lux. Life as a teenager was a very, very tempting one, in the sense that it's a time a person can be lured away from his plans in life, even the plans of his parents, even the plans of God concerning him. My own experience was, I realized early that my teenage years was the time I was to lay foundation for the success that I wanted to enjoy in life. You know, that was definitely when we're in secondary school. I think your senior pastor was also in the same school. I think, Pastor Balagido was also there. One of the things I laid the foundation for them were kind of in different ways. One, the time to wake up, a 5 a.m. wake up time, is something that I've kept from then till now. And I won't lie, has helped me so much in my business. Also, it was during that time I started my first love for catering. There was no chance to cook in school, definitely, but there was always this thing we used to do for everybody's birthday. They call it Gary cake. I was a specialist at it. So along the line, I developed interest for that while I was in school. But basically, I tried to keep myself modeled the way the school and my parents tried to model me. And thank God it is speaking for itself today. Now, when I was in university, I also liked cooking. But along the line, I was studying agric economics and extension. I decided within myself that despite any certificate that I get, I want to run a business. I wasn't going to be a salary earner in any way, not for one day. So I got my mind focused, always very prayerful, always waiting for God's direction. So as soon as I graduated, finished my NYSC, I joined my family company. Family company was running one of the big companies in Nigeria as the only branch running canteen, taking care of their staff. I joined and I was there for like 4 years. Within the 4 years, I was able to move the company to international standard. I came in as GM. I was an executive director. I, built about 13 branches within the 4 years, both Lagos and Ogun States. Increased their outdoor catering, that is the parties, weddings, and receptions, and all that. Increased that capability. Then, about 4 years after, God told me I should leave exactly what I was doing and start again. It's a very difficult thing to do. You're an executive director of a company, you have built a company from one branch to 13. Very comfortable, good money, official car, traveling allowances, and all that. This wasn't a plan I planned before. So if I had planned it before, there was going to be money kept somewhere. But eventually I had to heed to the voice of God and I left. And I started my own company, Only. And if I say God has not been faithful, I'll be telling a lie. Or I say that I've not been more successful than I would have been, I'll be telling a lie. But the good thing is that I started afresh. And a lot of factors played into it, which I will tell you, I will let you know. A lot of factors. Number one was God. Because my faith in God was what kept me going through the trying times. There's no business that starts without its trying time. Also, I was very, very diligent. The Bible says here that a man diligent in his business, he will stand before kings, not before mean men. I was very diligent at everything I was doing. 3, I had focus. Just like I had from when I was young, I had 2 kids to that age, not letting anything distract me. Other types of business came along the line. I was advised to go into farming. I was advised to come and join some particular companies. But I had focused that no, my dream of being the most recognized industrial caterer in Nigeria must come to pass. I won't lie to you, I'm practically there. Because I've not worked with companies in Nigeria, including multinationals. I've been running up to 30 companies, including hotels that are multinationals. Run canteen for them, do a lot of work for them, scattered business all over the country. Then another area is contentment. A lot of our people are not contented. Let me tell you something in life. You will crawl, you will walk, you will run before you fly. You can never ever skip any of those things. A lot of youth these days don't want to be patient enough to crawl they want to jump into it really cannot work. Most things that will happen, that we strive for in life, even has to do with the way nature has made things be. You can't jump from crawl to fly. It's not possible. There are times that things will be so difficult. There are times that things will go well. The time that it is difficult, that is where your passion now comes in. If, for instance, anybody who's trying to run into catering, it's not an easy thing to do at all. I'll give you one example. When I left the first company I was working with to start mine, I had no kitchen, I had no equipment, I had no uniforms. The first job I took was from where I bought my first set of uniforms. I can't forget that color. It was burgundy. That was the first time I knew what burgundy was. Burgundy. I can't forget the person that gave me the job. From then, I started buying one burner today, one burner tomorrow, one burner next tomorrow. Now, if I tell you now, I have a 2,000 capacity kitchen in Maputo. I have another 2,000 capacity kitchen in Oba. I have a 1,500 capacity kitchen in Ibadan. I have another one in Ibadan that is 500. I have a kitchen in Ijebu, I have in Abuja, and I have in Ilesha. Started with one set of uniform and one burner. Outside all those kitchens, I still run everyday catering for a minimum of 3 multinationals and a lot of other companies. But I started with one set of uniform and one burner.
So what would you say is the most important thing to have in this job? Outside the capital, what are the most important things you need to have before you begin?
First things first, you must have passion for it. It's that passion that makes you stay in when things are going tough. See, there's nothing better than making money from something you enjoy doing. You need to create passion for it. I'll tell you, when you make the best food, when you make the best recipe, it has to depend on how many times you have gotten it wrong. Nobody will tell you the first day I got to the kitchen to make this, I got it right. I know how many times I tried okra soup and I didn't get it. Let alone you talk of how I'm a seafood specialist. Let alone you talk of seafood, which is very difficult to prepare anywhere. So you can imagine how many times I've brought lobsters, I've bought crabs, and I've gotten it wrong. It's not how many times you fail on it. It's getting to the promised land. Getting to where you plan, the goal you have set. And there's no high goal you can set for yourself. With God, your passion, your dedication, and your hard work, there is no way you will not get there. There will be stumbling blocks. It's never ever smooth for anybody. You talk about the great people that have done catering in this country. All of them had one issue or the other, but see where we all are today. My business has even grown outside of Nigeria. We do catering in UK.
Wow, what an amazing video. I hope you have learned from it. So right about now, we'll be having our skill acquisition. So bring out your books, bring out your biros. Let's avoid all forms of distractions because you don't know when these skills will come in handy. We always need them.
Hello teens, how are you doing? My name is Ngozika Onkwe and I'll be taking you on Ankara footwear making. But before I go, I'll be listing out some things although on how to make it, the materials you've been needing. So I need you to grab your jotter or your journal with your pen so that you can list them down. But before I go there, do you know there's a gift? How can you get that gift? You have to do whatever I'm going to teach you here and make a short video, send it to the WhatsApp number, any number is going to be on the screen. Then the best participant will get 20,000 or 10,000 or 5,000 naira, not dollar. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the materials you'll be needing. So we have the slippers. Then we have the materials I'm going to be using to cover the slippers or your palm. These are some little material I've cut for the upper layer of the slippers. Then this is my brush, my tape, my hammer. It's very important. My hammer, it's very important. So you get some hammer with you at home. Then my scissors to cut. Then this actually my gum. I kept it inside there so that I could economize it so it doesn't really stain my hand that much. Then I brought this ones in case I want to style my slippers. For the ladies, if you don't want your slippers to be that plain, you can add some bead if you know how to make some bead. So, but I'll be teaching you a little about it and how to design it. So we'll be starting now. So for this palm, for me to redesign it, I have to dismantle everything. From here, you can even know how to make your slippers from the scratch. It's very, very simple. Trust me, you're going to enjoy this class. So I've dismantled the inner, the upper layer, and I'll be covering. So where do I start? I start with this. So I have my material here, and I have like two materials, a plain and a pattern Ankara. So it depends on how you want to restyle your slippers. So let me start from here. So place your material. I hope you jotted all the materials you need to make this so that you can follow along. Come back to the video and watch it. So now place this on the material. Remember, it has a left side and a right side. So I'm starting actually with my right. So I'll be placing it this way because the material is going to cover it. So lay the right side of your material down and lay the right side of this down. Then I'm going to sketch the actual shape of the slippers. I'm not going to cut this place, so I'm going to leave some inches around it, but I have to check, so that's okay. So I'm done with this, and to get the other side, just place it this way, sketch, and cut out. But for now, let's just deal with this. So remember, we're going to cover this whole place, covering that side. So I'm going to apply my gum around this place. If you don't like this or it's going to kind of disturb you, you can as well remove it. But if it's going to disturb, as in not disturb you that much, you can just leave it. For this one, it's too tight or too gummy to the distance. So let's just, like, I hope this gum, it's friendly with this material. I'm going to use my brush and rub it very well. Please always be, anytime you're rubbing this gum, make sure you're outside, a very place that is ventilated. So I'm going to allow it to dry a bit while I focus on the other things. So I have this to cover too, so I'm going to leave this one here. to get dry. So I have this one to cover. So it came this way. So let me show you. So it's supposed to be this way. So that's why I pulled it off. But because I'm going to cover this place, that's why I put this one off. So I have already cut out the part for this. I just placed it on the material and give some enough space, like 2 inches, 2.5 inches. Then, so I'm going to apply gum here. Let me arrange my. Make sure every corner of the material is filled with gum so that your Ankara material can glue very well. So I'm done with this. I'm going to allow it to dry. And this upper part, I've already cut out some material to cover it up. So applying gum on it. So getting dried. So I'm almost done. Let me see whether this one is yet dry. Okay. So how do you know when your gum is ready? If it's not sticky, then you're good to go. So I'm going to place it on my material, Ankara material, and apply gum at the edges. And brush it out. Brush it to the material. Okay, so I'm going to allow it to dry. That's what we see in shoemaking. You have to allow some things to dry. So for this, okay, where is it? This is yet to dry. Let me just keep it one place. I'm going to face it down. Then you pull because the material might be rumpled the way the cloth came. So you can see it's forming some shape. So I'm going to also apply gum in everywhere because I'm covering all these parts. So I'm going to spread the gum, spread it to the material, the remaining parts, so it doesn't get too sticky, so it will dry on time. Okay. Yeah, it's good to go. And let's fix this one. Okay. trying to cover the other side. So allow it to dry. So let's go back to our main slippers. It's dried already. Okay, it's not sticky any longer. So before I cover it, I need to, because it's in a circle or a sphere shape, for it to balance very well, I have to use my scissors to cut a bit the edges. It's gonna be sticky. So, right, so trying to check whether, okay. So, I'm pulling with all my strength so that it's smooth. You can see the edges are forming its shape. Make sure you pull it till it's, don't allow any breathing space. Oh. This can only happen if I cut the edges this way. If you don't cut it, you'll have so many problems covering this. Okay, so we're good to go. Ta-da! So if I want to really tweak this part, tweak it like a little bit tweak, and I'll get this, maybe this plain, and fix it here. Let's just do something. Okay, same thing I did the earlier time. Cut out. So this part will be cut. Then it's going to be this way. So I'll just apply gum to this end. But before I do that, I need to get this hole here, so doesn't look so thick. Okay, I've gotten one. So by the time we lay this one on, it to be easier. So I want to mark where this one is going to start. Let's go this way. So that means this. I just apply a little gum so that it can really stick a bit, so it doesn't waste time. And okay, so I want to mark where okay, I guess you get the memo. I just want to mark where I can start laying the gum around. Spread. Same thing I'm going to do here. Apply a little gum. Just little. Then spread. Allow it to get dried. Okay, let's come back to our upper layer. We're done with this. So for this one, so can see what I'm doing. So there's excess here. I'll just have to cut it off. Excess here. I have to just cut it off. So let's do the other way around. But we have to apply gum, because the gum is just for the other parts. I hope you're enjoying the class. And your slippers will be finer than mine. Okay. We're gonna allow it to dry. So let's see whether this is ready. Yes, it's ready. Place it. And sorry. Okay. Sorry, you need to apply gum here. And allow it to dry. So let's come back to this one. So I'm gonna fold a bit. You can see. So I make sure my material is beyond the gum I marked. Okay. So I'm trying to get the better. This place is open. It has to be closed. So we'll be covering this place. Remember, it has this space. I put it up and I kind of tore it with my razor blade. So that's why we have this one we already covered. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. So check the place where it stopped, this particular side. And put it this way. So I just want to show you an illustration first before we get going. So remember, I wanted to cover this place. So it's going to be this way. Like this. Then I have to do some hand sewing in between this. That's the only way it can get tighter, because if you use gum it might not stay, except you have a very strong glue. Like, I won't advise you to use bad glue, just use a thread and needle and thread to do that. But before I do that, I need to cover this place. Just adding a little bit. Okay. So you see, it's making sense. So it's making sense. I'm going to cut a little bit. Fold a little bit. I have my needle and thread here. I'll just do some inner stitches. Okay, Okay. Because of the gum is a bit sticky, so I'll just rub it again. Okay, got it. Don't be too deep, just sew in between the clothes from here to this place, then notch. Good to go. So now this part, I'm going to apply gum underneath. Okay. And allow it to dry a bit before I go over to this. So let's go back to this place. Applied gum at the edges, then I'm going. Oh, I forgot to tell you, we need to cut. Don't forget, like the way I just forgot now. So cut it, then pull. Okay, getting interesting. Then I have to open this plate. I have to open this place. Make sure it's quite open. Then here is ready. Okay, here is not really ready. So I just apply gum a bit here. Allow it to dry. Let's go back here. So there's some space here I have to cut. This place is not, you don't need this place. Just cut it out. You already have enough. So for these other parts, I'll just apply gum. Allow it to dry. I think here it's ready. So we'll be waiting for this to get ready before we move over to the last part. So this is the sole. You can get it anywhere in Mushi. Yes, Mushi is like a general place to get stuff like this. If you don't want to buy palm, you want to start from the scratch. So you can get ready-made sole like this. Get a paper or a foam, just the way we are doing this. Cover it with your Ankara if you don't want to buy this expensive slippers. So you cover it with your material, do some designs, just the way we did this one. And you have your slippers. So let's apply gum. This place eats a lot of gum, so
Thank you for calling. Thank you.
I'm rubbing the gum very well with my brush. The most important thing is to let the surface and the edges so let's it dry. Let's check this one how it's ready. So we just we're good to go. Remember we rubbed gum down here, so we're just going to make sure use our hammer. So this goes inside here. So how do we do that? You have to be very careful with your scissors. You can see what I'm doing. Okay, now this part will be the finishing when we are done. So it's going this way. Then this part goes this way. So to be guided, there's a place I stopped, just cut. Yes, so this is where the main slippers stopped. So I'm going to apply gum here. Then apply gum. You can see this shape where it came out from. So I'm going to apply gum there. Apply gum here. And also, so I want to test run. What I mean test run, I want to see where the slipper stopped. So it's going to mark. Okay, so I'll just rub another gum here. The same thing. And rub the gum there. Okay. We're almost done. I applied so much gum here because if this place is not well gummed, your slippers will be removing. So I'm also applying on the body of this place. And I'm going to allow it to dry. And so before we go on, remember to do your assignment, which is to do whatever I've taught you today. Make a short video, stand a chance to win 20,000 or 10,000 or 5,000. That is first, second, third position. So don't forget. So our gum is getting dried and we want to pull off this, put it down. This place is going to this now. So it doesn't look okay. So it's forming. So my hammer is going to help me. And use this part to get it. We're good to go. This place we have to do some final finishing. So it looks okay. Apply here too. And I can also apply here. little bit. Light gone. So it's time to place this finally on this. So where do I start? I start from the top. Make sure it's marrying the sole. So, yippee! We got it. It's time to hit. Spatters. So, have to. I can't really hit that much, but this part has to be hammered down so it doesn't look, because it's looking so jumped up. So we are done. So I just have to do the finishing using my So for a lady, you might not want this. So you can see we're done. For guys, you can go with this. But for the ladies, you can tweak. So I have something here to kind of help you. So be creative as possible. As in, I know ladies, some ladies can be very creative. So make something, a design. I'm going to show you one simple thing. So this is like my fishing line for beads. And I have some beads here. I'm just going to do some things here. Very simple design. So I'm putting my fishing line inside the needle. It's very tight. Get a medium needle. Okay, so pour some beads and let's keep going. So I'm taking as much bead as possible. To create a simple design. So I challenge you to do better than this. So let me see whether this should be. So I had to knot the end of the fishing line so it doesn't drop off. So I'm planning to put this over here, like make it 4. Okay, I think this should be enough. Let me put the beads back. So I'll just pull my fishing line a bit and cut. So this is I'm going to place it here. So it's making sense. Remember this part here. So I have to. So see what I'm doing. The first bead, I'll take it in so to give it a final notch. Yeah. So to go. So just for the ladies, I have something like a ring in front. So this is all. So recap, I'm going to kind of tell you from the beginning what I did. Get your slippers or your pants, dismantle, don't feel pity. So dismantle everything, remove. For this, use your razor blade to do this, to remove this. Then place your materials down. Make sure the left side is facing the wrong side of the material, so that when you're covering it, it looks this way. Gum the upper part. Make sure the inner part is well covered. Use this to cross over. Cover the down part of the inner sole. Then rub enough gum on the sole and at the back side of this inner sole. Allow it to dry. Make sure anytime you're rubbing your gum, make sure it's dried. Check it whether it's not sticky. Then you're good to go to gum whatever you have to gum. So I hope you enjoyed this class. So don't forget that there's a prize to be won if you are the best participant, like doing all I taught today. What are the prize? First position, 20,000 naira. Second position, 10,000 naira. And third position, 5,000 naira. So be creative, do something out there, and let the world know you're so creative about this. Thank you guys for watching. See you some other time.
Welcome back, guys. We have come to the end of day 1 of today's conference. Hope you had an amazing time. So please tell me in one word what you think of today's conference. And please do not forget to join us for day 2. Have an amazing time. Bye.